Hello, I would like to talk about hearing intervals as a pianist. I think sometimes we think, oh, I can just read the notes, that's good enough. But actually hearing the intervals in music, and again, an interval is a distance between any two notes. So this would be an interval. These are all different intervals. There's a lot of intervals. Hearing intervals is actually very important to a pianist for many reasons, and here are just a few reasons. I think it can help you with your sight reading, seeing an interval in the music, being able to know what it sounds like, so when you're playing something for the first time, you can know, oh, that was correct because that's the way it should sound. Sight singing, if you're singing in church, intervals are a huge help with that. And then even playing by ear. If I'm trying to figure out a song that I maybe never played before on the piano, if I think through the intervals in my head, I can usually figure out the melody just based on intervals alone. So between just one octave on the piano, there's like at least 8 intervals, probably more if you do all the diminished and augmented ones too. So we're not going to talk about all of those. We're just going to talk about the perfect intervals. And the very first one we're just going to talk about is the perfect one, or the unison. That's all it is. It's just the same note 2 times in a row. Okay, that's the perfect one. The next interval is the perfect fourth. So if we're in C major, you can start on C and count up to 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, and that's a perfect interval. Also, so there's a couple ways to remember these intervals. If you're into theory and you like to know the theory behind something, in a perfect fourth there are 5 half steps. So from C to F, if you look here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 half steps. So you could take that anywhere on a keyboard and figure out a perfect fourth. So let's start on a B flat. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So a perfect fourth in this case would be B flat to E flat. So you can do that based anywhere on the keyboard. Also, you can go from whatever key you're in. So let's say you're in G major. We know that in G major there's one sharp, F sharp. So if you count up from G to 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, just making sure that you keep all the notes in the key signature, you can come up with a perfect fourth. And then probably the easiest way maybe to hear an interval is to know the songs that go with them. So a perfect fourth, the best song I can think of, 2 songs, is Amazing Grace. So those first 2 notes, that's a perfect fourth. Or, let me play this one for you. That's kind of a fun one. Here Comes the Bride. Okay, that's a perfect fourth, and that's a very famous interval, very used interval in music. You'll see it lots and lots of places. Another important interval is the perfect fifth. So in C major, again, if you count up from C, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, that will give you your perfect fifth. That is 7 half steps. So let's start on another note. Let's start on F sharp. So we're going to count up 7 half steps. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So 7 half steps, you can use that anywhere on the keyboard to figure out a perfect fifth. And then to hear a perfect fifth, I feel like the best song probably is Twinkle Twinkle, the first couple notes. Alright, that gives you your perfect fifth. And then the other perfect interval is the perfect 8, which is just an octave. So E flat to E flat, above or below. That's the perfect 8. So those are the perfect intervals. Again, there's many minor and major intervals and augmented and diminished that we don't really have time to get to today. But I would suggest that you learn these on your own. Probably the sooner you learn them, the easier music is going to get for you in the future, because it will really, really help you. I don't think I actually learned all my intervals until college, and I think it would have helped me to have learned them way sooner. But those are just a few things to get you started, and I hope you enjoy learning your intervals.